welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. And this is March 23rd, 2025. And this is my weekly update, number 102, where I talk about everything I worked on and completed throughout the week. So I don't have anything to hang up behind me today, but I did work on a few things. Before we go any further, I do want to say I'm not going to be doing a weekly update next week. It's spring break, plus it's my husband's and mine anniversary and my dad's birthday. So there's just a lot going on, so there will not be a weekly update next week. But I'll be back after that. So when I do come back, I'll just have more to show you. So what did I do this week? Well, I did a video doing these Be Mine blocks. This is month 3. There's 8 of these, and this is month 3 for the Sew in Love block of the month by Edita Sitar. This did come out several years ago. There is a applique version and a piece version. That's the applique version. That's kind of the piece version on the back. I am doing the piece version. I have an aversion to applique. I don't like it. Now, I can do it. It's not that it's hard. I just don't like the process, and that's okay. Why spend your time on something you don't like? Move on to things you do like. So I worked on that, month 3. This week, well, it would be my block of the month for that flower. The flower shop block of the month would be what should be coming out this week. I honestly don't know if I'm going to have time to do that or not. If I do, I'll put it up. If I don't, it'll just have to be moved to the following week. Just because, like I said, I've got a lot going on this week. And what else did I do? Well, I worked on my Swan Island quilt from Elizabeth Hartman. And I'll show you where I am in a minute. So this swan piece, all these swans, there's 20 swans in it, and I've got all the stitch and flips done. So now it's just kind of like that straight piecing to put those together, and let me grab it. So I took the black swan and kind of laid it out for you. So I still have to do a lot of piecing, but that's kind of what it's going to look like when it's all done. So you can start to see that swan. Now there's 20 of them. Only one of them is the black swan. But I worked on that. Put that back. Let me grab a few other things. So I worked on this enchanted quilt from the Sew Sampler. So I have all the blocks sewn together, and I've sewn them into rows. And now I have all the rows pinned into the other rows. So I have this quilt top here. Let's see. Got the pins. It's set on point. Let me see if I can come back a little bit. And this is how this is looking so far. Like I said, I just have to make those seams and those rows and then add the corner triangles to all 4 corners and then trim it down. And then that will be done. So the next time I pull this out, I should finish it. And I've worked on 2 other quilt projects. Let me grab them. So I also worked on this blue diamond quilt. Let me show you a picture of that. There we go. And this is from the Quilt by Collar Scrappy Quilts with a Plan book. Now, of course, I have completely different fabrics in my quilt, but I basically have these rows pinned to the other rows to make the center of this quilt top. So after I sew those, then I just have to add the inner and the outer border. So let me pull that out here. This is going to be the inner border. So I've got some pins in there because I need to sew some strips together to make sure this it's all big. And let me do some unfolding here. I got a pin caught in my hair. Here we go. That's what it's looking like. Like I said, I do have pins in this because the rows are pinned together. So I've worked on that. Just the borders left on that. And then I have one other quilt that I worked on. And this is from another Sew Sampler. And this is Buzz, the quilt pattern. This one is almost done as well. And this is what this one's looking like. Now I do have pins along here and here. So next time I take to a sewing machine, I can sew those two seams. And then after I sew those two seams, I have a border of this fabric that goes all the way around it, and it will be done. So Buzz is almost done too. So that's what I worked on as far as quilt projects this week. Let's move on to what else I did. So I've had this sitting up there. Well, it's time to take it down and take my St. Patty's Day decoration off and put my April, which it's this. Shake your bunny tail. And then it's like, okay, well, I needed something to sit on that little shelf. So what did I do? Well, I took the little pillows from where I made these last year, all 12 of these, and I have all of them sitting in a dough bowl. Well, I took the April out, has a little bunny and the chicks, and I figured I'll just set that on the side like that for a little decoration for now. So now I can put this back up there in that corner. So I've got that sitting up there in the corner. That was kind of hard to see in the camera. But then my St. Patrick's Day pair, Benny the Bear, I no longer need. So I think I can give that to my daughter now. So I worked on some more cross stitch this week, which is this Autumn Lane Hocus Pocus. And this is where I am. We are getting there. Got a long way to go, but I think it will be done by Halloween. We'll see if I get it finished by then. Although, since I put my April up there, I think those were simply sayings, I need to now fullish finish my May and June's. So those are ready to go when May and June gets here, or after Easter. So I worked on that. Then my crochet. Oh, I forgot my book. Let me grab the book. Okay, with my crochet, I worked on something from this A Crochet World, Creepy Creatures and Cryptids from Ricky Gustafson that my husband had bought me to do. Now, I have been trying to use this green yarn because I forget even what I made. I made, a sleeve shawl. That's what I made. And I had lots of this green yarn left over, and I've made several things with this green yarn. Well, so I had to make something else with the green yarn. So I decided to make this little dragon. So here's what the picture looks like. And this is my green dragon. So there he is. I don't know, I like the nose better. His face is a little bit more round. But there we go. That's my green dragon. And it's got wings that I've got all bunched together. Wings and a tail on the back. There we go. Now I am happy to report this is all the green yarn I have left. So I think I'm done with that green yarn. I think I finally met my goal and used it, which is what I've been trying to do for a while now. But I think I finally got it. So what am I going to crochet next? well, I've been asked to crochet some Pokemon things. So that's my next project. So you'll have to watch and see how those turn out. Now we do have fun with the way these turn out because they never quite turn out like the picture. And that's just me. I guess I haven't quite got the knack of sewing things together right. Because I think when I crochet them, the actual crochet turns out. It's just the sewing them on kind of distorts things a little bit. But there we are. That's what I made. And the last thing I worked on is my diamond painting. I'm just looking to see what I did with the little picture. Now I know I had brought in the little picture to show you it a little bit better, but I can't find it. It's here somewhere. But this is what I'm working on. It's the Amsterdam Canal from Diamond Art Club, and it's a big one. There we go, and there's eventually a bike over there. But so far, this is all I've got done. Okay, so that is everything that I've worked on and completed this week, throughout the week. Just a reminder, I am not going to be doing a weekly update next week, but I will have one the following week. All right, till next time.